From the America First Media Campus, living under Dictator Biden, this is We Will Not Comply on Vaccine Mandate Day. Happy Vaccine Mandate Day, the day before 9/11. And a lot of first-timers on the road today. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
No, there's a lot of people out there on the road today who decided the left lane was the slow lane. And
Is today the first day of school?
No, there's been school going. Oh, but today is walkout day with the schools. There's going to be a lot of walkouts happening. Massapequa, Plain Edge, Wantaw. I know there's a couple of others. Again, I can't post every single flyer that I'm sent. Just to be completely clear, the if we post a lot on there, we're probably going to get canned. So if I don't post a flyer, I don't hate you. Okay. Number one, it's just sometimes there's like 50 flyers that I get posted. Number two, I want to address something about the courts. Please stop asking us to rally outside of courts because I have no problem rallying for court officers who are getting caught up in the mandate. I have an issue with sticking hundreds of people outside of a courthouse and then having to sit in front of the media and say, no, we're not rioting outside of a courthouse. We're just peacefully assembling. You know, we'll believe it, but our buddies over in Newsday and the Smithtown News and the Town of Oyster Bay News, they won't believe it. So just a blanket statement. I am with you, court officers, state employees, federal employees, people who want to take a stand against the vaccine mandate. We will not be doing them outside of courts. I will not be doing them outside of courts. Yeah. It's just not good optics. So please, it's nothing personal. I don't hate the court officers. I know a lot of people who work the court. And look, and for those of you with legal issues and you want to rally outside of a court, it doesn't look good. So that's just not what we're going to do. You want to group that in with another group or something anti-mandate. We're doing that on the 12th there at Stony Brook. I know it's very student-oriented, but please, we're not going to be doing rallies or mobs or very large groups outside of courthouses. It doesn't look good.
Today is actually Huntington Hospital at 11 o'clock, I believe. We are going through all the hospitals today.
Yeah, we're hitting all the hospitals. It's Vaccine Mandate Day, as you know. It's been a very interesting couple of days. We clearly live in a dictatorship. I love the fact that there's the anti-steal crowd. It wasn't stolen. Well, I mean, it sure feels like it was kind of stolen. You have like the insurrection that happened on the night of November 3rd when the counting all stopped in swing states, at all 5 states at the exact same time. And now you had the barbed wire around the Capitol and you had the National Guard securing the inauguration, right? It just kind of feels like this was forced upon everybody. And here we are under Dictator Biden after the crime of the century on November 3rd. And what they tried to make the crime of the century look like on February 30th, 2021. If you guys know exactly what day I'm talking about, we call it February 30th now.
February 30th.
It's that day between the 5th and the 7th of the first month of the year.
Do the math, everyone.
February 30th.
Do the math what February 30th is. We're just not going to say the actual date ever again.
And listen, so we're getting rallies all started, and we have a big weekend coming. We obviously had our anniversary rally, save the date, the 17th. We talked. The plane is most likely back, weather permitting. October 17th, got confirmation on that yesterday. So there's going to be a plane back over the lighthouse at Montauk again, October 17th. So if you guys are going to be there, if you want to do Montauk 2.0, especially with Dictator Biden telling everybody how they've got to live. So I think that's going to be a big one. Save America rally, October 17th. The starting point is still up for debate. I'm thinking Seaford because it worked so well last time. Maybe we could push it a little bit further west, but that will be a really long drive. And I also don't know if there are any big parking lots further west on Sunrise Highway, like the Seaford lot.
Yeah, that could be a little rough.
Because we know how crazy that was the last time. But October 17th, we will be going back out to Montauk. Let's make it huge, okay? Later, I will be recording what Trump will sound like doing the boxing commentary because he's doing that tomorrow. I went on TikTok last night. I got some great lines. I got it written down here for you guys who were on TikTok Live last night. You guys did a very good job. What?
Wait, what are you doing?
Oh, well, Trump is doing he's doing the what do you call it? The guest commentary on the boxing tomorrow between Belfort and Who's the other guy who's fighting? Holyfield tomorrow? I'm not sure if that's what.
Holyfield.
I don't know. Oh, someone's fighting Belfort and someone else. I don't watch boxing.
I don't watch boxing. Died with Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I don't watch boxing. But he's doing some sort of guest commentary tomorrow in a boxing match, and everyone on Twitter is like, "Hey, you should give us a preview of what that's going to sound like." And I'm like, "Hey, that's a great idea." Except I know nothing about boxing, so I went on TikTok Live last night and started brainstorming with the crazies over there, the deplorables over there on TikTok, because that's what we do. We go online, and I'm like, let's talk about ideas. And we talked about a few ideas, and we got a couple good ones for today. So I'm going to just go, down goes Frazier. Okay, we're going to talk about it. Frazier went down faster than Sleepy Joe on the stairs on Air Force One. And then the rest of it, I'll let you see what happens. But it's going to be good. We're recording that later, around 10-ish, 9-ish, whenever. But I'm going to put that out around noon because I've gotten some good luck and everything, putting things out around noon. Then it catches into the weekend. It looks great. So we will have that on Twitter and TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and everywhere later today. But today is vaccine mandate day. It's
vaccine mandate day.
He came out yesterday and he said some really strange things. Some of the terminology, like we're going to protect the vaccinated from the unvaccinated. How exactly are we going to do that? You know, are we gotta keep them separated? Is that really what's gonna happen? Or are we gonna, you know, just kind of, how are employees gonna do it? Are they gonna use the honor system? Are they gonna say we're asking? Are they gonna sue back and go, well, you know, it's kind of it's against HIPAA laws for us to ask our employees about their vaccination status, et cetera, et cetera. But there's something that happened here, and it's it's not good. Going back, the White House chief of staff, Ronald Klain, he actually I see a picture of Larry Elder. That's the guy. Okay, great. He got attacked in California.
Yeah, a white woman in a gorilla costume.
Yeah.
Threw an egg at him.
Yeah,
and sure enough, funny enough, it wasn't on Don Lemon's show.
I'm not a fan of his recent comments, but I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing
Larry Elder's
here?
going to be the next governor of California.
He might be. He very well might be.
Which means we're going to have a governor and a senator from California, because he gets to appoint the next. Because where in the world is Dianne Feinstein? No one has seen her in months.
Yeah, no,
nobody's seen her since she yelled at those kids about climate change.
She's in trouble. She was nasty with
that.
That.
She was like, I've been doing this for 4,000 years. I think I know what I'm talking about.
And she had a Chinese spy as her driver for a while.
Is that the same one that was sleeping with Eric Swalwell?
No, that was a dude who was her driver.
How many Chinese spies?
Fang was the one sleeping with her. So
how many Chinese spies are in Northern California? It seems like a lot.
I don't know. That's it, but there's certainly at least we know 2. So Ronald Klain, the White House chief of staff. This is a Fox News article. I saw a tweet about this last night on Twitter. Faced criticism on social media Thursday after he retweeted a post that seemed to praise the Biden administration for pulling off the, quote, ultimate workaround for a national COVID-19 vaccine requirement. Businesses that do not comply would face fines of up to $14,000 per offense. An administration official told the Associated Press, well, they got to make that money back somehow because they're going to put everybody out of work, so they ain't going to have no taxes, no tax revenue coming in. I mean, just the idea of every company over 100 employees having to either mandate the vaccine or have the weekly testing is just going to it's going to throw a lot of things out of whack. It's not good. But Klain retweeted him. Now this is great. This is just great. You have a White House chief of staff retweeting MSNBC. Klain retweeted MSNBC Stephanie Rule, who posted, quote, OSHA doing this vaccine mandate as an emergency workplace safety rule is the ultimate workaround for the federal government to require vaccinations. This is like when that group sent those students into Comac schools and they wrote on there, try not to sound brainwashed. Like, that's exactly what this is saying.
Like, they're admitting they can't do it, but they're going to do it. Oh, wow. What a workaround. What a brilliant way to do it. That would be like Greg Abbott coming out about the workaround to the abortion law.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly.
But at least Greg Abbott's not admitting it.
But at least Greg Abbott didn't come on Twitter and go, this is the ultimate workaround of Roe v. Wade. Like, he didn't actually come out and do that.
It's not a crime. It's a civil penalty.
So Abbott and DeSantis are fired up about this. And Kristi Noem, who's another one who can't seem to figure out the bathroom issue, which and the sports issue. Again, You have two genders, you have two bathrooms. I really didn't think we'd be at a point in society where this is a problem. But then you have Larry Elder saying, pee wherever you want.
Well,
Just go wherever.
Well, the Christie Nome one was different. They attached that as a rider on a separate bill.
Yeah, and she still let it through.
She did it.
And she should have taken a stand, and she didn't.
Which shouldn't know. Well, because you like 98% of a bill and not 2%.
Yeah, well, so you take the 2% of the bill that makes it completely illogical. Because women cannot compete in men's sports and men cannot compete in women's sports, period, end of story.
I'm with you.
If someone like Noam, and I like Noam for the most part, well, Larry Elder, if somebody can't agree with me on an issue that's that simple, right, where you have literally two genders, you have two bathrooms, and you just go to your corresponding one. Like, if someone can't agree on that, we're never going to see eye to eye. So it's very simple. So Noam, who's been kind of lately, is ready to go with lawsuits, and lawfare is going to be the way we have to fight this. Everyone's going to go, well, what do we do? Well, I'm also hearing that this isn't going to take place until Thanksgiving. This may not take place until the middle of November. So you got some time. But, it's even so, it's a massive overstep and a massive overreach at the federal level. But there might actually be, unfortunately, state precedent. In 1905, there was a case having to do with the smallpox vaccine, and there was a Supreme Court case, and it did not go the way you think it would go. So there could be some issues leading forward, but I would hope to see lawsuits come out there and kind of stop this in its tracks, the way the Democrats tried to stop the wall several times. Get me a federal judge that's friendly and get me a good ruling, and at least delay this thing until we could kind of construct a good case here.
Well, Ronna McDaniel at the RNC has already said she's going to come out and sue the federal government over this, and as well as I believe Harmeet Dillon, she's a First Amendment lawyer and does a lot of that stuff. She already said she's going to come out and does, and I'm sure the Supreme Court will fast track this. This won't be one of those things where the court case takes 10 years.
No, they'll fast track it if it gets kicked up to the courts. Republican members of Congress and state governors promise to challenge the mandate. These are the kind of things where I'll believe it when I see it. You know what that means? Lindsey Graham's going to write another letter. That's it. He's going to do it. I am going to write a letter to my colleagues in the House of Representatives, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. No, you're going to go on Hannity. You're going to let him interrupt you 15 times. You're going to talk all this big game. You're going to think Lindsey, remember Lindsey 2.0 when he exploded in Kavanaugh? Lindsey 2.0 is back to Lindsey 1.0.
Yes. He was. Lindsey Graham was great for about a week.
He was fun. He was great after Kavanaugh. It was Lindsey 2.0. Wow, we've got Lindsey Graham. No. This is still the same Lindsey Graham who tried the awful Graham Cassidy healthcare bill after John McCain sank the first one. He's still Rhino Lindsey Graham, neocon Lindsey Graham. He's the same guy. It's time to replace him too. I'm tired of that guy.
Well, he's never found a country he didn't want to bomb.
Well, he and Ben Shapiro have something in common.
Okay, first off,
bomb Iran.
Ben Shapiro made one comment one time.
He made more than one comment more than one time. If Iran such as gives Israel a dirty look, he's ready to go and bomb people all over the place. Let's just bomb this one. Bomb. He's the new Beach Boy, Ben Shapiro. Bomb,
he's a Beach Boy, all right.
bomb Iran. Bomb Iran. That's what's going to happen. That's what they want to do. They want to just bomb people. It's great.
I mean, if they're going to bomb somewhere.
I wouldn't just start not indiscriminately bombing places, but that's okay. It's
finally we found a place Sean and I disagree.
Ben Shapiro. So between all the neocons who are just bomb happy all over the place, just pressing buttons, dropping bombs in places, who cares? They seem to care more about what's going on overseas than what's going on in our own border. I talked to a bunch of within our own borders, if we even have borders. I talked to a bunch of folks yesterday. We were talking about the vaccine mandates. How are you going to mandate a vaccine in the United States when you've got the southern border wide open and people are coming in unchecked, unvaccinated all over the place?
You didn't hear? If the people coming across the border don't want the vaccine, they don't have to have it.
Right. But the people in the country already that don't want the vaccine have to have it.
No, my favorite so far, post office workers. Post office workers are not going to need the vaccine. They just have to be tested once a week. I wonder why that might be. Could it be because the Democrats need someone to hand out the unsolicited mail-in ballots?
I think so.
I think if they fired 10,000 employees at the post office, I don't think those mail-in ballots would get out too easily.
I think they would have a big problem. And now we're talking about all these different variants.
Variants.
And one of my favorite memes in the world.
Variants.
What
What the hell's that guy's name?
Variants.
Ancient Aliens.
Oh, Paul Tsoukalos or something.
Variants.
No, not Tsoukalos. It's something else. It's Paul. It's like a really long Greek last name.
He's the guy with the hair.
Yeah, he's got the variants, right? Aliens, variants. So there's variants all over the place at the wazoo, and I know exactly where the wazoo is, so we don't need those descriptive emails. But there's variants everywhere. Is there a way to test for these variants that we're hearing about? Because I mean, I know that the process to find the Delta variant was you test positive, which, by the way, like an orange has tested positive for COVID before. So let's all right, but you test positive, and then it has to get sent out, and they can determine whether or not it's a variant or it's just like regular
Alpha
COVID, right? So you test, but like, how do we find these just now? There's a mu variant, so we've gone from Greek letters to, I guess, Pokemon. I guess.
Well, it's official, everyone. There are now more variants than there are genders.
Yeah, well, that started once they got to the third variant. So
I think we're at the third variant. I can't wait for the lambda.
We had the lambda. Fauci had a little lambda. Fleece was white. His fleece was white as snow. Okay, like the lab coat he wears. Fauci had a little lambda.
He hasn't put on a lab coat in 30 years.
He hasn't seen a patient. Yeah, he hasn't seen. Rand Paul has seen more patients than Anthony Fauci. So
I would be shocked. I genuinely would be shocked if Anthony Fauci could take your blood pressure.
I don't. Yeah, I could probably take my blood pressure better than Tony Fauci. But yeah, this White House chief of staff decides it's a good idea to retweet an MSNBC reporter or an MSNBC tweet here about OSHA doing the vaccine mandate. Wow. What is this? What the hell is that? Oh, that's Safe Flight. Safe Flight repair. Safe Flight replace. My windshield is destroyed. It's been destroyed since Greenport, so I'm getting a new one today.
They say it's free, but then your insurance goes up.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll talk to Geico about that. But Ted Cruz is saying it's foolish from the White House chief of staff. He said the quiet part out loud. The Biden administration knows it's likely illegal, like the eviction moratorium, but they don't care. The senator was referring to the Supreme Court's ruling last month that blocked the Biden administration from continuing a temporary eviction ban in place due to the coronavirus. The court said that the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention lacked the authority to reimpose the moratorium earlier that month without congressional approval. You know, it's really funny. You're watching the government right now use the other bureaus and the other institutions to pass these very imposing orders. You watch New York State, instead of the governor's office issuing the mandate for schools because the emergency powers had expired, you're now watching it happen through the health department. Instead of Joe Biden issuing a mandate, an executive order straight from the White House, he's doing it through OSHA regulations. You saw what happened in the Supreme Court the last month with the eviction moratorium. They used the CDC to put forth these policies, these governing. The CDC is not a government body. It does not have the power to do that. And so yet they're still trying to do it. They're using all these institutions to flex their muscles, so to speak, and to impose. And it's a complete weaponization, and it's just a complete just a weaponization, a manipulation of government, of these institutions that we're supposed to trust, that we're supposed to kind of listen to. It's the Center for Disease Control. These people are supposed to be studying the viruses and studying the pathogens and giving us the information so we can stay safe. We can't trust these people anymore. It's clear as day they're politicized. It's clear as day they're agenda driven. And now they're using these institutions and using these unelected bureaucrats to push policies that their office doesn't have the power to push itself. And that's what's going on in this regime. It's disgusting.
I mean, look, Fauci openly lied. He openly lied twice and admitted to it. He lied about the masks originally, saying that, the reason I told you masks didn't work was because I wanted to save them for the healthcare workers. And then he lied in the emails about the masks, saying that the ones that you buy in the drugstore do nothing. So how can he be trusted?
Well,
when you force these mandates on people, all you do is bring up more vaccine hesitancy, because if it works, then why must you mandate it?
Well, here's the other thing about the vaccine, too. It doesn't work the way normal vaccines are supposed to work, right? I'm not here to tell you that it's killing people or that there's metal in them, which, by the way, there actually was metal in something. There was some sort of steel or something that was in. It wasn't. They claim They claim it wasn't in the U.S. Pfizer or Moderna, whatever, which one, but there was like components of metal in one of these vaccines in Europe or something. Then they had to recall them or something. I don't know, but as far as the TikTok trend, like I could just like. Look, I'm magnetic. Oh my goodness! Like stop it. Okay,
yeah, stop doing that.
That could be silly, but
it's called double-sided tape, everyone.
Right, but I'm not telling you the vaccines are killing people. I'm not telling you to get it. I'm not telling you not to get it. I'm just telling you the obvious. They don't prevent illness. They don't work. What you're seeing now, I think, and I'm telling you where I think this is headed. And this is just a hunch, okay? But what you're seeing now. You had a bunch of people get the vaccine between the months of, let's say, April and June, right? You had that whole rollout. Everybody was getting excited. The masks were coming off. If you're vaccinated, you can get it. We're starting to passports. Baseball season started. Vaccinated, unvaccinated section. Hockey season. Vaccinated, unvaccinated section. They were making it sexy to get the vaccine. They were giving you incentives to get the vaccine. They were doing all these things that were supposed to coax you into getting that vaccine. If you're vaccinated, remember Joe Biden? If you're vaxxed, you don't have to wear a mask, right? The guy whispering into his microphone. They had all these incentives between, let's say, April and June, right? Now, when did the Delta variant, when did that start to really get heated up and start going crazy? Probably towards the beginning of August up until now. We started hearing about Delta beginning of August. Schools are getting ready to reopen. So Delta variant rolls out 3 months after the big vaccine push. Now you're hearing about a booster. So let's start doing the math. I think what you're watching, they call it a pandemic of the unvaccinated. So once they call it something, that's clearly not what it is, right? It is not a pandemic of the unvaccinated. To assume that it's only the unvaccinated that are getting sick is an issue. It's not true. We know that vaccinated people, folks who have been double vaxxed, if you've had your Johnson & Johnson vaccine, or the Moderna or the Pfizer or whatever vaccine you got, folks who have been vaccinated are getting sick. Period. End of story. We know that that's the case. Not everybody who's been vaccinated is getting sick, but folks who have been vaccinated are getting sick. We know that. That's not up for debate. You see it, 30% of cases, whatever the number is, people who are vaccinated are getting sick. These are not breakthrough cases. This is not the one kid in the kindergarten class who gets the chicken pox while the rest of them are vaccinated so they don't get the chicken pox. These are not breakthrough cases. The real breakthroughs are the ones who get sick twice. How do we know that? Because if people were getting sick again, en masse, right? If there were a ton of people getting sick twice, don't you think that would be the front story? You need the vaccine. You have to get it. People are getting sick twice. This is awful. There's no immunity. But you're not hearing that because natural immunity works. And what I think you're seeing is the artificial immunity that you've been getting from the vaccines wear off after 3-4 months, right? So you had the big push between April and June. You go 3 months later, you're at July to September, or right in prime time where everybody's first doses of those vaccines, everybody's first, either it's the double shot or the single shot of those vaccines, everything's starting to wear off. And the people who thought that they were immune to this thing are now getting sick because their immunity wore off because they got the vaccine 3 months ago. So they're talking about a booster. Does this mean, and how many people, I know there are people in our group and there are people watching who are vaccinated, and that's okay. And I'm not asking you to say it in the chat because I don't need you getting harassed. Oh, you're vaccinated. You took the poison. Look, if you think it's a poison, don't get it. If you don't think it's a poison, get it. But don't shame each other. If you got the vaccine, congratulations, you got the vaccine. That's your right. That's your choice. You see, it goes both ways here. And if you didn't get the vaccine, that's okay. It's your choice too. If you don't want to get it, you don't have to get it. That's the way I am. I'm very hands off. You make your own decisions. I'm happy with the decision that you make. You should just be, I don't care. That's you. You do you, right? So those of you who are here that got the vaccine, and I'm not asking you to identify yourself, but those of you who are here that got the vaccine, they are now talking about boosters. Now, if we're going to find out, I'm going to go under the assumption that the antibodies or the immunity last the vaccine 3 to 4 months. Are you going to stick yourself on a schedule every 3 months to get an injection? It has never been done before. The flu shot's once a year, right? One time. I feel like Chris Russo. One time, right? The flu shot's once a year. Right? You go in the doctor, they get you the flu shot, boom, you're done for flu season, right? Are you really going to go ahead and get 4 vaccines every year? We're going to talk about doing it quarterly. We're going to talk about being on a schedule. Oh, Mr. I haven't gotten my vaccine. How many of you guys are going to do that?
Well, now Pfizer is talking about making a daily pill.
A daily pill?
A daily pill to fight COVID, because, of course, you can't give out once a year shots. That's not enough profit revenue. You've got to do a 30-day supply like every other drug. That's why they don't cure anything. Everything is terminal. Everything lasts forever. Every drug you get, they probably could find something to cure it or give you something that would, depression, anxiety, hair loss. No. You got to take a pill every single day.
Get yourself on a schedule.
Get yourself on that schedule so that every 30 days, they know you're coming back for more. They know you're going back to your doctor. You're paying that copay. You're going Blue Cross Blue Shield. Everyone can charge out, and everyone can take their pill once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day for the rest of their lives. And that's how they make permanent customers.
That's exactly how they make permanent customers, right?
Because every cure they come up with is a customer loss.
And right. Every time you cure something for good, you don't have the repeat business.
By the way, when did liberals become such a fan of big pharma? You don't hear Bernie Sanders talking about the big pharma companies.
We love you, Pfizer, Moderna,
Pfizer. Your stock price is going through the roof. This is incredible.
No, you're wrong. Johnson & Johnson, Woody Johnson, the Jets are a disgrace. That's the one time I actually agree with Bernie Sanders.
Well, the Jets are a disgrace.
Well, what do you think about it? The Jets are a disgrace. I didn't watch much of the game last night, the Buccaneers and the Cowboys, but I heard it was good.
I did, because I had 3 guys starting in it.
Oh, fantasy football.
I love fantasy. Look, the NFL.
Great.
To hell with them. Whatever. Fantasy football. It's fun. It's the one time a year I get to see all my friends again. Fantasy football's a good time, and Amari Cooper killed it. So you know what?
Amari Cooper, roll tide.
Amari Cooper killed it. So I think I'm playing my buddy Anthony. Too bad, buddy.
That sucks to be Anthony.
Sucks to be you.
But back to the look. I think how many people who have gotten the vaccine are going to put themselves on this schedule? I don't think you're going to see a lot of people do that. And another thing, and let me I'm not a doctor, and I don't know if there's any doctors that are in the chat that can maybe tell me if this is how it works or how it doesn't work. But think about the people who've had antibodies for over a year now, right? There are folks who have been sick once. They got sick at the peak the first time around back in March and April and May of 2020, or whenever you got sick, right? If you've been sick for over a year and you got your antibodies tested and they're still way higher than they need to be, right? In terms of they're supposed to register a 10, 20 on the scale, and they're at like a 260 or something like that, which I know a lot of people with the antibodies, they still have it. It might not be that your antibodies last forever, right? That's very well might be the case. Your antibodies may not last forever. My antibodies may not last forever, right? I got sick in April. I've been over it for 4 months. I haven't gotten them, tested in a while, but I know I have them, right? But maybe these people with natural immunity have elevated numbers of antibodies because they've been sick, they've recovered, they've gone back out into society. Ooh, scary. And they've continued to encounter the virus. Have we thought about that? Maybe the people who have been sick once are bumping into other people who are sick or other people who are spreading, and they're encountering the virus again. But because they have the antibodies, their body is fighting it off before it can progress and get them re-sick. And that's what keeps their antibody numbers elevated, because the virus is clearly out there. It's everywhere. Well, it's not everywhere. It's not at cafeteria tables in schools. So we should hold class in the cafeteria, because that's where the kids are allowed to take their masks off. So all classes actually in public schools should be held in the cafeteria, because there's no COVID at those tables. You could take the mask, you could eat, you could do all this great stuff. But if you're in the classroom at the desk, they're like, that's it, get them. They'll get those kids, get them all sick right now. That's what we have to do, But how many people do we think maybe that you continue to have these elevated antibodies over a long period of time? Because maybe since we haven't eradicated the virus, maybe since we're going to have to live with this thing ultimately, we keep encountering the virus on our day-to-day. Those of us with natural immunity, we keep encountering the virus on our day-to-day. And so that's what keeps our antibody levels high. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know if that's how that works. All I'm thinking of is, listen, you got a guy that goes to the gym. You got a guy that keeps going in there. George Pritchard, I'm thinking about you, my friend, because you're in the gym every single day.
You are in the best shape of anyone I know.
But you're in great shape.
I'm so jealous.
But he goes to the gym. He's in fantastic shape because he goes to the gym every day, right? Now, those of you who don't go to the gym every day, you're not going to be in fantastic shape, maybe that's the point I'm trying to get. Your antibodies are continuously training. Your immune system is continuously working out every day by encountering this virus. All these people that are spreading it, you guys are, your antibodies are defending themselves. Maybe they stay elevated that way because they keep encountering the virus. And by the way, if that's the case, then your natural immunity ain't going anywhere. Like I got strep throat like 40 times in first grade. I haven't gotten it since then. I can't get it again. Seriously. Like it's like impossible. I've been around people from first grade to now, haven't gotten strep throat once, been around people with it. It's been everywhere. It's just, I mean, I encountered it so many times that there's like some sort of immunity going on in my body.
Well, this is what happens with the immune system. This is why, I mean, I'm 32, you're 30, we played outside as kids and we didn't get sick. The generation above us, they were outside all the time. They didn't get sick. Their body learned how to fight off these viruses. The generation below us that sits around and plays Fortnite for 6 hours a day, turns out peanuts are the most dangerous thing on planet Earth to children because they don't go outside. Their bodies do not grow. The immune system must be stressed and must be tested to get stronger.
Much like anything.
So when you wipe down tables with, antibacterial wipes and get gluten-free ice cream cones, you're actually hurting your children because your body has not learned how to defeat it. Your body has not learned how to beat these things. And it's a serious problem. This has been actually Jonathan Haidt wrote about this in his book, The Coddling of the American Mind. I'm a huge fan of that guy. But he talks about anti-fragility, how there are some things that, if you test them, they break, they don't get any stronger. And there are some things that when you test them, they actually get stronger, like the gym. Your muscles get better when you work them out.
Oh, you actually have to tear. You have to have micro tears in your muscles in your body, allow them to grow back stronger.
Exactly.
That's simple. And that's how that goes. And that's why when why is there a Zach Wilson article here on Bongino Report? I'm not clicking that. It's a sports thing. Derek Jeter's in the Hall of Fame. Derek Sanderson Jeter.
Number two.
Derek
Jeter.
Jeter.
Number two.
But
Derek Jeter.
They were talking about this back last year when they were lifting the lockdowns, how everybody hid in their house for a month or 2 months or 3 months or whatever it was. And then all of a sudden you get like released back into the general public, right? Back into the world. And your immune system is shocked because it's been hidden from all these viruses and germs and bacteria. And it kind of gets blindsided by it, right? You have to continue to give your body something. You have to continue to be active in some way, or just like your muscles and your body will atrophy, right? You'll wind up just weak and unable to defend yourself. You'll wind up vulnerable. And that's what's going on. Look, there's only so much hand washing you could do. You're going to take the skin off your hands next. What are you going to do? If you live in a bubble, people who are sheltered and shielded from germs and bacteria and everything all day long, 24/7, 365, the first time they encounter a common cold, it's going to be hell for them because their body's just not used to doing it. The guy who spends all his days in the gym training for the boxing match is going to destroy the guy who says, well, you know what? It's just not safe to train. So I'm going to wait till the fight. You're going to get mopped. Okay. Like it's going to be a real quick night for you. If you're got two fighters and one guy's been training all week or all month or last 2 months, and one guy's been, well, you know what? Out of safety, I'm not going to train. I'm just going to step into the ring with this guy. Like, no, you're going to get demolished, dude. And that's what's going on here.
Well, it's so funny because actually Bill Maher, who, I still am a fan of, despite the fact that he's a liberal. I think, he's pretty funny. He calls people in college emotional hemophiliacs. These people, the slightest little thing will make them bleed. And this is the same thing with these people that are terrified of this virus. They've never gone outside. They've never gotten to see, that you can actually live in the world with this virus. It's the same thing with liberals and leftists on college campuses. They've never heard opinions that they don't agree with.
Right.
So once they do, they freak out. It's like the princess and the pea.
The hair goes on fire.
They've never heard the slightest thing that is different.
The face starts to melt.
Which is why Sunday is going to be so much fun.
Sunday is going to be a fun time. Sunday is going to be a great time at Stony Brook, Turning Point, USA. But we got plenty. Well, we got a little bit. But anyway, think about this. Look, Biden, we say it every day. Got it on Town Hall. I got another article here on New York Post. Bongino Report. By the way, if you remember the Drudge Report back in the heyday, when the Drudge Report was cool. It was fun. Drudge Report is garbage now. Go to BonginoReport.com. That's where you can just get, it's an aggregate, so you have all this. There are stories all over the place. One in the Post from September 8th, one from yesterday in a YouGov poll, which is not a friendly poll to conservatives. President Biden's approval rating has been in decline since May, but has now taken a nosedive in the aftermath of the botched Afghanistan withdrawal, which left 13 service members dead and Americans still trapped in the country in what's been described as a hostage situation. By the way, they're now whipping women in the streets, the Taliban. So
no, wait, you mean the 8th century goat herders haven't changed?
No, they haven't changed.
Oh, you mean the new and improved Taliban is,
right.
Professional
and businesslike.
Did you see the story? Did you see the story about how the State Department is very upset that there are not enough trans people in the cabinet for the Taliban?
That's great.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm sure
they're
going to go for that.
Tell me more about that's the problem, not the fact that your interior minister is on the FBI most wanted list. There's a $10 million bounty on his head. Hey, guys, anybody want $10 million? Just go to the government building in Kabul because he's sitting right there. But Jen Psaki, Peppermint Patty, says that they are being quite businesslike
and professional.
What the hell does that? What the hell does that mean? He's on the FBI most wanted list.
Yeah,
on the FBI most wanted list. What?
But they're professional and businesslike.
Oh my God! This is such a calamity there, and there's still Americans there. Let's not forget.
Oh yeah, there's people that are still trapped there.
But did you see they thanked the Taliban for letting a commercial airliner take off?
Oh yes,
they thanked them. Oh, thank you, Taliban. Now you can go back to living in caves.
Hey, Mr. Taliban, turn over Bin Laden. Daylight come and Ben Shapiro drops a bomb. But I don't Taliban. So
listen, okay, all right.
Here's
we're differentiating.
Well, they're not Iran. Bomb the Taliban.
There you go. There you go. If I could change
the lyrics a little bit. Hey, so Massapequa, cock-a-doodle-doo, a little voice crack in the morning. Massapequa, I gotta give them credit. I've got video. You're not gonna hear it, Kevin, because it's gonna play through the board. But the Massapequa Board of Education last night took some steps to fight back again. Finally, someone, right? So the Massapequa is obviously just like every school district on Long Island. They are enforcing, quote unquote, the mask mandates in the schools. They've set the policy. They're in line with the CDC policy, et cetera, et cetera. However, okay, they have lawyered up and they had some really good things to say. And I'm going to let you listen. You're not going to see it, but hopefully we get some audio. It'll let you'll be able to listen to what their Board of Education has. The audio is a little garbled, so bear with it, but listen to what Massapequa Board of Education said last night.
Governor Kathy Hochul have the power to establish a statewide mask mandate policy as an emergency health measure, that such authority resides only with the legislature. Otherwise, it is a matter of local control. The legislature gave such authority to Governor Cuomo in March 2020, but withdrew it in March 2021. This absence of legal authority to issue a statewide school mask mandate was candidly and repeatedly acknowledged by Governor Cuomo and the health commissioner during Governor Cuomo's tenure. Nothing has changed except the occupant of the governor's mansion. The lawsuit also demonstrates that masking all students, from unvaccinated 3-year-old pre-kindergartners to vaccinated 18-year-old seniors, is not universally accepted by scientists and educators as beneficial in all circumstances when waiting.
So that was important. The last part, what you just basically said, that their lawsuit is actually pointing at science, which is really important. It's pointing at, it's basically, this is an 11-minute clip, and I'm not going to play the whole thing because we'll be here for 11 minutes, and that's a lot, and I don't want, I want to lose interest. But Massapequa Board of Education, just that small excerpt is all I wanted to really let you hear. Their lawsuit is targeting this. They're targeting whether or not the governor and that office has the power to institute something like this, whether it's through the Board of Health or just from Albany in particular. But they're also finding out, she's also trying to find out this lawsuit from Massapequa Schools is stating that universal masking from ages 2 to 18 is not backed by science as being beneficial in any regard. Okay. It doesn't help stop the spread of the virus. It doesn't help stop the spread of all it does is get these kids to be, depressed and anxious, and it's hurting their ability to learn. And it's quite simply a disaster.
It's damaging their social skills. I mean, I feel so awful for these kids. Can you imagine last year having to go to prom in a mask?
No.
Can you imagine? I mean, you take that prom photo and, I go on my Facebook right now. I can look back at my prom pictures and I can think about good memories. I said it to one of the doctors at Half Hollow Hills. They were talking about how athletes won't have to mask. Athletes won't have to mask. But in the classrooms, they will. And I said, well, what's closer? What's closer contact? Wrestling or sitting in a classroom? And this man looked at me so befuddled. He was so confused. And I was like, I wrestled all through college. I wrestled all through high school. All through high school. You're going to make wrestlers wear masks? Because A, the mask is going to fall off in about 15 seconds.
I mean, yeah.
But two, the match is, you know how long a wrestling match is when you're on the mat? Like you see these guys, they come up, they're dead. They're gasping for air. You're going to see wrestlers start passing out.
Yeah.
But they're just not going to make them wear it. Or basketball players. I'm going to back somebody down in the post.
With a mask on.
With a mask on.
Right.
Are you kidding? In what universe are we talking about? That was like Laura Corain last year said that you could play tennis with someone inside your home, but you couldn't play doubles tennis. Really? What science? What study has proved that singles tennis is okay, but doubles tennis? First off, that study has never been done because that's absurd.
Well, it was my favorite when we started making deals with the virus. Okay, no, midnight we're going home.
Oh, midnight we're going home
because the virus is out at 12:01, and then the next week it was like, no, the bars can be open until 1 a.m. in New York. It's like, wait, Andrew, what'd you do? You struck a deal? What'd you peace treaty?
Well, no. Every time there was a new accuser, he gave us another hour out at the bars.
He did.
If there had been one more accuser, we would have had legal
prostitution.
We would have had legal marijuana and open carry laws.
We would have had legal heroin at that point in New York State.
Basically, we would have been
when you think about it, heroin and all those hard drugs are pretty much legal anyway. You have supervised injection centers in New York City.
Look, if there had been a few more Andrew Cuomo accusers, we basically would have been living in Amsterdam.
Everything would have been legal. Oh, man. One more thing about Biden's approval rating, just to tell you how much of a disaster this is. The swing states, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, Texas. I mean, Texas isn't really a swing state. Everyone thinks it is because of Beto O'Rourke, but that's okay.
There's no way they included Texas as a swing state.
This is the Post, but because Trump wanted it 5% or something in Texas, and now it's a 26% gap between the approval rating in Texas. But Georgia, 15%. I bet you they regret all that stuff. Biden won Georgia by 0.2% following a number of recounts. 13% in Florida, North Carolina, both states that Biden lost. His approval ratings all over the place across the board are dropping like a rock. It's not good for the Biden regime. The only thing we're going to have to do again is come 22, we're going to need participation on all fronts. We're going to need people to vote like there's no cheating, people to vote like the system is perfectly fine, and people to work their asses off like these people are trying to steal it. We're going to need participation everywhere. We're going to need people out in District 19 for Vicky this coming year, this coming cycle. We're going to need people for Curtis Sliwa, who I just saw at the Whitestone Club for the 9/11 tribute on Wednesday night, which was beautiful. It was a really nice night at the Whitestone Club with Curtis and Vicky and Rudy's deputy mayor down there. It was a really great time, really nice night. But we're going to need people there. We're going to need folks to come out for Dom Thorne. We're going to need folks to come out for Ray Tierney. We're going to need folks to come out for Steph Bontempi. We're going to need them for Stephen Becker. We're going to need everybody who wants to fight back against these mandates. We have to elect officials who are going to do that fighting for us in the legislature. There is whether it's your local, your county, your state, your school boards, your federal, all across the board. The idea that the whole change the names initiative is legitimate. Like, you have to understand, if you can't get your representatives now to adequately represent you, then you have to fire them. But you can't just fire them once every couple of years. You can't just go, well, I will vote you out. No, this is a process. Campaigning is a process. It's not just, I'm going to make a post on Facebook and say, vote for Stephen Becker, and then hope everybody just follows my... No. This is an enthusiasm thing. This is a come down, meet the man, shake his hand, Ask him questions. Go out there and knock doors for him for a couple of hours on a Saturday. That little bit of participation alone is so influential and can shape these elections and swing them in ways you have no idea.
And guys, we're going to be planning a huge lit drop event for Ray, Dominic, and Stephanie. And look, these county ledge races, you know, they may seem small, but they're incredibly important for a number of reasons. Number one, Dominic Thorne is running against Andrew Cuomo's lapdog, Rob Clarko. Okay, he follows Andrew Cuomo around. He does whatever Andrew Cuomo wants to do. People are talking about him running for governor, running for county executive in 23 after Steve Bologna's out.
Termed out.
Stephanie Bontempi, this is very important. Her opponent, current county legislator Doc Spencer, he's a doctor, was trading prescriptions for trading prescriptions for sex. Was caught doing it. He was caught doing it. He's a doctor who was giving out opioid prescriptions for sex. And we all know about Tim Sinney out there in Riverhead. We all know that Tim Sinney is directly responsible for the deaths of at least 6 people with his ridiculous bail policy. You can read about that in the Smithtown Messenger.
The Smithtown Messenger. The Smithtown Messenger, friendly paper, Smithtown. Good. We like Smithtown. The Smithtown News.
Not so good.
Toilet paper.
Leave that in the deli.
Yeah, leave that one.
Don't pick that one up.
Don't pick that one up. Smithtown Messenger, pick it up. The greatest messenger.
Ronkonkoma Review, the
history of the
Islip Messenger,
yes,
and the Ronkonkoma Review. They are friendly papers. They will give you all the local information you guys need.
The right information, the real information.
The real information about everything going on. You guys can talk. There's always articles in there from local elected officials and all the different stuff going on.
David Ambrose wrote an article about the tooth fairy the other day.
Almost said it.
Woo!
Wait, I almost said it.
Kevin McKenna did too. Tooth fairy.
Really?
They talked to the tooth fairy yesterday. Yeah.
Well, I guess that's because Kevin hasn't seen us.
They all believe in things that aren't real. You know, soon will be.
And by the way, did you notice how they waited for this vaccine mandate when there was 80 million people who are unvaccinated? Does that number sound like anything else to you?
Oh, that's the amount of people who apparently voted for Joe Biden?
Yes. Oh, very odd.
80 million.
80
people.
Million.
Yeah.
How? Very odd how they waited for that number.
It's an interesting number.
There's a calamity going on there, folks.
There's something happening.
But we're going to, all that information is going to be coming out about the huge event we're throwing for Ray and Dominic and Stephanie. And we need you guys. You know, memes are great. Memes are fun. It's always fun to put stuff on Facebook. We got to get bodies out in the street. This is how we have to do it. You know, if there was an easier way, we would pick it. But we're going to be setting something up. If you guys want to go hit a neighborhood for us, come back. We're going to have food and drink and good times, music and dancing over here at the America First Media Complex.
Yep.
We need your help. We need your help. We're going to give you guys your local neighborhoods, your block, the couple blocks around your area. We're going to tell you where the Republican prime voters are. You're going to be going to friendly territory. You're going to skip the idiots on your block. And I'm sure you guys all know who those idiots are.
Mm-hmm.
We need your help. We will feed you. We will provide you with drink. I don't know why I said that like I was in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
We will have a glass of
or
meat.
Spartacus.
We will have Spartacus.
No, different. That's a different language.
We will have a cauldron of mead waiting
again. My God, no.
That's an inside joke.
That's an inside joke.
But come down to the barbecue and we'll tell you about the greatest and stupidest television show in the history of
it's historically accurate except the dialogue. I don't think the folks in Spartacus spoke
if anyone watched Spartacus out there, I think that's how they spoke ancient.
Maybe not. But once again, back to Rand Paul, which is Washington Examiner. Was this Dan Chayton who wrote this piece? Is it him? No, it was Asher. Oh my God, Asher Nothis. I don't know. Notheus. I don't know. Great job. Rand Paul is saying the documents about Tony Fauci, who says it's not smart to congregate in large crowds for outdoor football games. Okay, Doc. Anthony Fauci. It's not smart to do it out. Now it's not smart to go outside. He's got the windshield wiper going back and forth and back and forth. Shut up already.
And if we had an honest media, they would have brought up Obama's birthday party, but we don't.
No, we don't. The senator said, as Rand Paul, leaked documents reveal the virus came out of a biosafety level 3 lab, which he claimed nobody believes is secure enough for dangerous pathogens. The researchers then modified the diseases by adding S proteins to make the virus more transmissible. Rand Paul also mentioned that Anthony Fauci had stated in 2012, Who was the president in 2020? Oh, Obama. Paul also mentioned that Fauci had stated in 2012 that gain-of-function research was worth the risk of a pandemic. Nice. The senator said he found it astounding to believe that a person with that mindset is still in charge of research for the U.S. government. Yeah, well, Rand, you and I both find that to be astounding.
Astounding.
It's not, Dr. Fauci, what did you mean in 2012 when you said that you would, that gain-of-function research is worth the risk of a pandemic, and do you still hold those thoughts in the same accord? Like, I can't wait. I am what? Look, you can give me the biggest tub of popcorn when Rand Paul is finally able to sit down in front of that scumbag. Would you call him a humanized mouse? Anthony
humanized
Fauci,
mouse.
When he's able to sit him down, and he just lays into him the first time, and he finally gets that time on the board, and he just sits there, and he's all with his hair all over the place. Rand Paul, Dr. Fauci, it's good to finally meet again.
If there's any congressman out there listening to this, which we know there are,
cede your time to Rand Paul.
Well, please just ask Anthony Fauci. Just please grill into him, and you will never lose election ever again.
Never again.
Ever again. It's not hard. Just tee him up. And if you, by the way, and on another note, if you get a hold of General Milley, can you ask him if he's understood white rage yet?
For a great low rate, you could get online, go to the general, and save for some time, okay? And also, let me just say, I just have to say, for a low rate general, not a great low rate, but a low rate general, you could just go to the Pentagon and find General Milley. He's a low rate general.
It is too early for that crap. It is too early for you right now.
Great low rate, okay? Talk to my friend Shaq. I call him Shaq.
There's no way I'm buying. There's no way I would ever buy car insurance from a cartoon.
Shaquille O'Neal, what do you think about it? Is my friend. He's a great guy. I call him Shaq. Okay, Shaquille O'Neal. So the Shaq attack. So I didn't know that Anthony Fauci stated in 2012 that gain-of-function research was worth the risk of a pandemic. That's actually, well, that's great. I'm so happy he's the head of the. I'm so happy he is the head of the National Institute of Allergies and Infectious Diseases and the National Institute of Health. When he comes out in 2012 and says, yeah, you know, all these games are playing, but it's worth it. It's worth it if the world gets sick, if we could just make a really cool virus, right? Like not. Well, so that's exactly what we're dealing with Anthony Fauci now.
I said it the other day, you know, when you get to the top levels of all these government administrations, whether it's the Joint Chiefs or the CDC, you're not actually what you were beforehand. You are a politician.
And you're
Anthony Fauci he may be an MD, but he's not a doctor.
No.
Okay. He hasn't. Doctors treat patients.
Dr. Fauci.
You know, I mean, Rand Paul is a doctor. He still does eye surgery.
But he's an eye doctor. What does he know? He was still at the medical school.
Yeah. Guess what? I'm going to let my eye doctor do my stitches. All right. He's a doctor.
Dr. Fauci. Last time you sat in front of Congress, you called me a liar. Do you still hold those same thoughts? I can't wait. And yes,
every senator should cede their time. It should be a 3-hour grilling. I wish Trey Gowdy was still there.
Trey Gowdy, the man who asked tough questions and never made a tough decision. That guy.
I love Trey Gowdy. Abuses people, even though
he never did anything.
Well, because he was in the minority when he did it.
But no, he wasn't. When he grilled Hillary Clinton, he was not in the minority.
Yeah, he was.
Gowdy?
Yeah,
he did nothing. What? No, he wasn't. He wasn't in the minority. Gowdy?
Yeah.
He was the first 2 years of Trump was Gowdy. We had majorities all over the place. No, he did nothing.
He was before that, I believe.
Well, the Benghazi stuff, some of it, not all of it. When he grilled Hillary Clinton, that was in 2018, 2017, before the midterms. We had a House majority and a Senate majority.
No, that was during the Benghazi hearings, which was during the Obama administration.
He grilled her over the emails. I'm not talking about Benghazi. I'm talking about the emails, the 30,000
I was talking about the Benghazi stuff.
Yeah, he was in the minority then. But Gowdy's another one. Gowdy's like a little more aggressive Lindsey Graham.
No.
Yeah, he do. What did he do? Tell me what he did. Tell me right now what he did. What
could he do when he was in the minority?
He did nothing when he was in the majority. Nothing. Zero. He grilled her. He asked her great questions. That's all he did. I could do that.
That's all you can do in a Senate hearing.
He didn't introduce any sort of motions or any legislation or not legislation. He didn't introduce any sort of motion or any sort of, there was nothing behind the words. It was just, Hillary, you lied.
Yeah, because that's up to the Justice Department, not up to Congress.
But he never even sent referrals. Nothing. He just asked good questions and went on Sean Hannity. It sounds a lot like Lindsey Graham.
No.
This guy Gowdy, where is he? He did nothing. Zero.
There was nothing he could have done.
There was plenty he could have done. Stop making excuses for the guy.
There was
He
nothing
could have
he
at least gone. That's like the school boards. Well, there's nothing we could do about the mask mandate. Write a damn letter. Trey Gowdy, I'm sorry. You want to be a guy. He's got a good. First of all, he's got weird hair, but he's got a mouth.
In fairness, he's definitely
He's
very
got a
odd
mouth.
looking.
He's got a great mouth. He's a wonderful speaker. He speaks with
He's
conviction.
definitely very odd looking.
I love it. He's great. He could say all the right things, but he was the king of talking. He was a gun flapper, and now he's not even in government anymore.
Yeah,
he left.
He left.
Yeah, because he couldn't do it. He's not up for the job.
No,
He's not. He wasn't up for the job. He's not about acting. He's like Peter King. Same thing. Guy flapped the gums all over the place. Did nothing. Then endorsed.
Well, that I agree with you.
Yeah, and then he endorsed the Democrat. Oops, I'm sorry. I always get Garbarino confused. I don't know why. I just keep doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and then he endorsed the Democrat. I keep doing. I did it again. The Andrew Garbarino.
That's not a Freudian slip.
That's not a Freudian slip. The dude's a Democrat. Oh, I'm going to vote to take away your guns. I'm going to vote to be the February 30th commission. Get out of here with this.
My favorite was the amnesty for the farm workers bill.
And by the way, I know everyone's already starting to ask questions about September 18th. Are you going to D.C.? No, sorry, not going. And if you are going, that's your problem. I'm not going down to D.C. again, not after February 30th. I'm not doing it. You don't think that there's going to be some idiot who tries to do a copycat with the whole thing that's kind of been put up to the don't look. This is the only time I'm going to or don't go. Do not go to D.C. on September 18th. Don't do it.
There's nothing to be achieved down there.
You're not. First of all, what do you think you're going to change this administration's mind? Right? You're going to do that? What? You're going to get all angry in the streets of D.C. and then what?
We need to focus locally.
Yeah,
that is where we can have. That is where we can have the change.
And there's a lot of things that about September 18th that I feel like are a trap. If you're going to go down there and peacefully protest, that's fine.